Hello. Hello. Anyone around here speak basketball? This is Adam Silver.
Welcome to the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast. I am your host, Freddie Rivas, and no longer yelling the opening with me is my producer. What's your name, sir?
My name is Matt Duncan. Yeah, I've become more professional now, and I'm going to have a more serious tone from here on out on this podcast.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I've got a lot of complaints over the years. You're too jovial, too light. Maddie, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, Fred. How are you doing? You got your first week back at the feud?
First week back at Family Feud. Shameless plug. I am the audience warm-up guy. If anyone wants to come see a live taping, we do Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So, just Google Family Feud, CBC, live audience. Come on down. I'll try and give you some swag. No guarantees. Okay? No guarantees.
It's downtown, right? It's not like in Burlington or...
No, it's in Arn Pryor, Ottawa Valley. No,
you do something in Burlington, though, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Roast battles.
That's roast battles.
Okay.
But this is right at the CBC building.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, right near the old Rogers Center Sky Dome.
The man with that statue sitting on a bench.
You got it.
Yeah,
yeah, the bench boys.
Oh yeah,
bench guy. If it's your first time coming into the podcast, we're Raptors hardcores, we're NBA hardcores. We have analysts, writers, comedians, actors. Basically, if you're a basketball nut, you're welcome, and you've made it to the right place. If you do want to help us out and, let us become the next Dax Shepard or large podcaster, how can they do that, Maddie?
RaptorsRepublic.com. Make sure you go over there. That's where our podcasts are. That's where all the great articles are. You can read, have a good time. You can even comment there. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe, please rate. And then just click all our Instagram and our Twitter links to get you where you need to go. Follow the Rapcast on the podcatcher. And yeah, that's about it.
I love it. Maddie is all business. Okay, guys. He didn't talk about the skateboard decal thing that he does sometimes. We're done.
We don't have that site anymore.
Yeah, that's right. We're pros. Shout out Taylor McLean. I'll say before we get going here, free Brittany Griner. She has been sentenced to 9.5 years. We'll see where we go from here. It's obviously a tragedy. If there's any way you can get involved, make some noise. So it's a horrible situation. So I'll say that. Free Brittany Griner. Okay, let's go to you first, Jordan. I'll stop with that. Let's go to you first because you actually gave me the idea for this first question. And it is exciting. We're getting a lot of, the Rico HINES runs content. A lot of the Raptors are there. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure who's not there, to be honest.
I think it's just Precious I haven't seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen Precious. Haven't seen Svi. But I mean,
there.
What's that?
I think Boucher was riding a bike around Ontario Place, so I don't know if he's there.
He's there. He's been there.
Oh, he is. Okay.
I love that.
Maybe
he's just riding it around. When's Dune 2? Okay. Weird jokes aside, I think Rico's interesting because it's been a part of the Raptors summer, excitement machine for some time. I think during the Casey era, some people have been going there for a really long time. I haven't seen any clips of DeMar or Kyle there. I don't think past couple of years, but Harden's been going there for a very long time. The Raptors actually hired Rico HINES for this year, which is cool. But just from a general point, Jordan, what have you seen? Maybe not just in the Rico HINES, it can be some of the Pro-Am stuff, but what have you seen this summer that's gotten you the most excited?
So just in terms of pure player stuff, I mean, Scotty's shot looks pretty nice. It looks like he has he does these like, I guess they're like kind of step backs now that seem to take like they take a really long time. Like I love that Scotty kind of moves at his own. It's in Scotty's pace too, and he'll still probably be able to get it off because he's so tall. But like the shot just kind of looks. He seems to be willing to take it, and it just looks a lot better. So that's very exciting. And then I would also say I should say when these HINES runs go up, I watch like the whole thing on YouTube. Like when people are like, "What are you watching this summer? Are you watching last season of Better Call Saul?" I'm like, "No, I'm watching the first couple episodes of Rico HINES runs," and I'm overthinking it and all this other stuff. But and Freddie looked nice too in the clips that I saw. But the one thing that I'm gonna say is that I love that the Raptors hired him as an assistant coach, and especially because he gave this speech. I was kind of having like a hard day where I was trying to get something done, and he gave this speech about how like it's all about stacking good days after good day instead of like getting not too low, not too high, kind of like boilerplate sports metaphors. And you know what? I really took it to heart. I was like, oh, Rico's he's motivating me through YouTube. So I can only imagine what he's going to give to the guys on the team. Like I'm feeling jacked up just listening to this guy. So I think it might be a good addition to the coaching staff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious to say sports are filled with a lot of like cliche and sort of like, basic speak at times. But, the next man up mentality or the like next play sort of thing, being in the moment, being zen, being kind of like present is something I've always really appreciated about basketball. And I think you do see it with the best players. People talk about it in different ways, like whether it's like irrational confidence or determination. I think people that really end up excelling in a lot of sports and in a lot of different fields are have an ability to kind of endure and then also focus on the next moment and not let the negative moment be this super impactful thing. And, easier said than done. Right. I think in comedy, you hear a lot like, go have fun or have fun out there. And it almost seems like facetious, but it's truly, it's a real thing. Right.
And also like, I mean, this is a little not bad. It's the off season. So I feel like this kind of personal musing is okay. Like we're deep off, but it's like, learning how to take to take pleasure and to feel good from the work and not the results in and of themselves, like doing the work and then feeling good about yourself because of the work that you do and not because it was noticed in a particular way or had the results that you wanted to. It's like putting in good work every day is learning how to make it its own reward. And so that's what I'm happy to see the Raptors are learning that philosophy. And I hope I one day can as well.
Yeah, no, seriously. And just to your point, Scotty's shot does look nice. And I wasn't trying to belittle your point. I really wasn't. But and I think off-season confidence translating into the regular season, like will his shot look as nice, in the regular season or the playoffs? Maybe not. Does that invalidate the summer? No.
And you do see it happen. Like Pascal's shot looked way better in the offseason, like 2-3 seasons ago. And it didn't look that good until like last season, basically. You know what I mean? Like in terms of that mid-range you kind of developed, and that he was practicing that fadeaway for like years, and he'd hit it in the offseason, but not in the
Well, and it's interesting you bring up Pascal. I'm sort of like, pretty repetitive with my point about, I'm always saying that I feel like a huge part of last year was Pascal not starting the team or starting the season with the team, and and affecting the pecking order, and OG and Fred getting tired, etc. Precious being overtasked. But I think that in the Tampa season, if I'm not mistaken, Pascal wasn't able to go to Rico, which is a place that he's really like he develops quite a bit. But Katie, what's what's your take on I guess he's the summer like vibes, highlights, sort of not necessarily just Rico, but if you want to go for Rico, that's cool.
My summer vibes are always NBA Summer Vacation Watch.
Yes.
Just to plug myself.
You got a plug. It's amazing.
But if you guys are talking about like slogans that have come out of Rico HINES runs, I think the funniest to me was respect the gym. I think that's what they said the first day.
That's pretty great.
Respect the gym,
You
rocks.
gotta respect the gym. I really liked that. I felt like it was maybe more directed towards like, your James Hardens, or maybe just James Harden in that case, than like you're very eager like Scotty Barnes is.
Right.
But like, yeah, to like piggyback off what Jordan said, I think Scotty looks really good. I think his handle, though it is still like, it's not 10 feet out from his body, it's maybe like 6 feet out from his body.
Mhm.
So that's a good improvement to me, because that always like he can do it, but I'm always like, maybe just dribble the ball a little bit closer to you. So I saw him working on that. I saw him like specifically in a couple of the clips going up against James Harden, and I thought he looked really good. Like just very aggressive.
Mhm.
And I think it was maybe it was about a week ago. I think it was Rico HINES said something about Pascal to the extent of just like, he's the hardest worker, he's ever seen and ever worked with. So I think that looks good. I mean, both of your points, just in terms of like this work being applicable to me, it's always kind of like warm-ups before the game. Like if you watch those, everybody's shots are falling like 100% of the time.
Yeah.
But this is more of like, you're kind of like in the lab, as they say, and you're getting, it is like a little bit more aggressive and like, pointed, kind of targeted training. But I'm curious to kind of see what happens to it. But I thought OG looked really good, as always. Like Freddie, I'm hoping that OG has like his first, knock on wood, like uninterrupted season of his career. But I probably just jinxed it big time by saying that.
Yeah, he's gonna get the weirdest injury like day one. He's gonna like poke his eye with an umbrella or something. Like, it's gonna be,
and he already has eye injuries like all the time.
Yeah,
like it's
don't get Matt started on his contacts, okay?
All the
always getting knocked out. Oh my god!
Every time he loses,
goggles.
yeah,
I would
you
love
need
to do
some
a sort of
goggles.
like a pool for OG injuries, but they're just like it's like falls into the red panda cage at the Toronto Zoo or something. Like it's not going to be regular. It's not going to be regular.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Yeah, it has like an
I don't
allergic
know.
reaction to something at the botanical gardens, something like that. No, I don't wish any of that on OG.
No, God,
but
no.
I think it's good. I always get a real kick out of like, I don't think even for the fan bases who's like players on their teams are now taking part in these like Rico HINES runs,
Mhm.
don't get as immersed and like obsessive about them and all the footage coming out of them as Raptors fans do. So I still get a big kick out of that.
Yeah, me too. And I'll jump on that point because I feel like what excites me the most is that all of the Raptors are, kind of hanging together and playing in these like lineups that we're going to see in the season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good competition, and like sort of being in the lab, trying new stuff, is just, I think it's really integral to like the overall growth. And there was also a speech that Freddie made just about like, not taking this for granted, whether you're an established player, or someone who's just in the gym, and
Respect the gym.
respect the gym. Honestly, respect the gym. And I feel like it's cool that we have these different iterations of Raptors. Like we have Pascal and Fred, who are, NBA champions and G League champions, and different people who some have big contracts, some are sort of just, fighting to be on the team. DJ Wilson was there. So like all the kind of like competitive juices,
Mhm.
you know, taking a point from William Liu, I was listening to him earlier today, and he was just sort of saying that, you know, it is hard to judge because the level of defense isn't quite, you know, as intense or as sophisticated. But to your point, Katie, and I feel like I haven't heard a lot of people say this, but you know, when we think about Scotty and his development, I kind of think it's going to be on the defensive end more than
Mhm.
anything else. I think he's going to get lost a lot less and just
Mhm.
sort of cut down on his mistakes. It seems to me like there's an assumption that he's going to make this jump from 15 points to like, I don't know, 25 points or whatever. And I don't know if I'm there. Like, I think he's just going to be a more well-rounded player. And also to your point about dribbling, you know, 10 feet out versus like now 6, I think that's how we get to the people who want point Scotty. You know, Scotty running, you know, grabbing a rebound and running the floor and making a wild pass is amazing and it's cool. But it's totally different than running a half court set. You know, you even see that with like Banton, right? And it's not to take away from that, but I just think, you know, not every pass leads to an assist when you're a really, really good point guard. And I think that's sort of those intricate like handoffs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I
is on the
think
way,
like
you know?
if he, you know, if they're looking to still develop him more at the point guard role, which I think the team definitely seems to be, then he's not going to be the primary scorer, right? And I would actually say that would
Yeah.
stunt his development a little bit, right? Like you don't want him to be like, of course, it would be wonderful if he just became like a lights out shooter, but I think the way that the team is structured and the way that it looks like from the guys they got this summer, who knows what's going to happen at training camp, but from the guys they went out and got this summer, the way they want to continue to structure it is, you know, yeah, they definitely want him doing more on the defensive end because last year, you know, with Pascal coming in late and just like the injuries and COVID, like the defense wasn't great, right? Like they were like, it was pretty spotty at times. So I think he didn't really get like the full runway of defensive development in that sense. So, and it's just going to make him a much smarter player, which will make him much better on the offensive end anyway. So I'm with you.
Yeah. Well said.
I mean, we are bearing the lead of when he defended Harden and like clapped in his face like 8 times.
Yes.
It was like that was I think we can all agree that was the juice for the next month. Like I think every Raptors fan like did an audible like we were salivating audibly like when that happened where it's like and like again obviously it is like a you know a sort of I don't know how hard James Harden was trying in that point, but it was like I mean you just couldn't help but to be pumped to see that.
And didn't James Harden praise him for his ethic?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, this has been the summer where James Harden kind of is like turning around his reputation a little. Like it's kind of like he took less money. He's in the gym all the time. He's like saying like it's kind of interesting.
Just because he got out of the nets at the right time.
He did. Yeah, we'll get to that later. But he's like, I'm not having a meeting with Joe Tsai. So I actually am just playing a ton of basketball, and things are good here. Okay, I mean, I feel like we've been talking about this Durant thing all summer, but it kind of does just keep going on. It is big news. You know, I don't think you can just throw away this idea as being meaningless. Like this is one of the best players in the world. It's a tumultuous situation. It sort of started with Kyrie, then it turned into this, like, you know, from a Raptors perspective, what would you trade, you know? And then, you know, of the Jaylen Brown thing, and it kind of just keeps going. Now we're in this new iteration where I guess Durant and Kyrie sort of want Nash and Marks out. The owner of the Brooklyn Nets and Alibaba and the Liberty of the WNBA, Joe Tsai, has sort of spoken out on Twitter in favor of the coaches. I'm assuming at this point, like, he's a billionaire who doesn't like being told what to do, and is probably frustrated that the players are making so much noise. And who knows which way he goes, but I want you to imagine yourself like, you know, you're thrown into this situation. You're kind of like a mediator. you know, like what's your approach? Like, how do you like what do you salvage? Like you know, yeah, like you're going in there at damage control. Like what's your plan?
I mean, it's been a big couple of weeks for NBA owners on Twitter, unfortunately.
Yes.
Jeannie Buss scamming everybody for BS5s. Joe Tsai, I feel like.
Wait, I didn't hear about that one.
You
what's
didn't?
this one?
Oh, she like claimed that she was hacked, like her Twitter account was hacked, and people like she was giving out like it was a scammer being like, reply to me right now, I'll give you a PS5 with all like your
But it was actually
financial information. No, it wasn't her.
Oh, I was like, whoa.
I mean, I don't know. I assume it wasn't her.
Season
That
2 of
feels
Winning
like,
Time.
that feels like a real mastermind situation.
I love it.
Yeah, and Joe Tsai, I feel like just realized he had a Twitter account. I don't think, you know, he's like spending too much time on there. I would maybe take the exercise. Like if I was a mediator in that room, I would maybe take the exercise like even further. I would like try and deconstruct it even more. I would have them try and like get in other people's shoes. Maybe this is just riffing on a tweet I did, but I really think it would be funny if they like tried to come at the situation as like a different team owner. So like what would on one end of the total psychotic spectrum, what would James Dolan do? Because then it would make the situation seem pretty measured, right?
Oh, that's really cool, actually. No, like I mean,
in
that's
comparison,
almost like Nathan Fielder rehearsal style. Like there's
Yes.
like a role play element to this answer.
yeah, a
like,
little bit. And then I was trying to think of who the most, like honestly, like Larry Tannenbaum. I think just because he has the wherewithal to just like stand back and be like, please, you guys just run this team.
Yeah.
I'll give you my money, and like I don't really like I trust you. You've obviously like the valuation of this team is through the roof. You know, and I also a part of me loves Mickey Arison because he just looks like Bob Seger. So I would have like maybe like a songwriting exercise in the vein of Mickey Arison as Bob Seger, so they could like talk it through, like do a cover of like Running Against the Wind and like try and get a bunch of shit off your chest. Joe Tsai and Kevin Durant. But if I was really in that room, I would just say, Joe Tsai, you are a billionaire. Don't worry. Like your team's still going to make money. This might be an investment, like peace. And I don't mean that as Kevin Durant, because I hate when people talk about athletes like that, but I just mean like, this might be something you have to cut loose. Kevin Durant, this is literally the team that you wanted. You chose this coach. Yeah. So you should maybe like, you know, maybe I'd hold up a big mirror and be like, you got to look inward, brother.
Oh, I like it.
I'd be like a real mess of a mediator. This is more of a like a high school art teacher.
Yeah. Everyone just walks in.
mediation.
You have like a whole vision board.
Yeah.
They're like, whoa, this is
There's
a
like
lot.
loose dry pasta and glue on the tables and like Bristol board and stuff. But I mean, I don't know that we'd get through it, but like we'd create some things on the way there.
I mean, you got some good ideas. You know, I think honestly the what would other owners do is actually a really fascinating one, because I feel like it sort of like removes you from your perspective, and you know, who knows what kind of information you gain from that. But yeah, Jordan, you're thrown in. You're the mediator.
Okay, what am I doing? I mean, I don't know if I think I'd have to say to KD, you gotta stop smoking pot and going on Twitter all day. Like it's just you know, I think as someone who has also had to do that, you know what I mean? And it's like I can, it's familiar to me. I can see it. I can see the pattern of behavior, you know what I mean? Where you're trying to get stuff done, but instead you're smoking pot all day, and then you know, you're on Twitter, you're spinning out in your head, you're not getting anything done, and then you know, you become an alien to yourself. You become alienated from yourself. You don't know what your feelings are, so you're always like, you get stuck in this rut. You know, a little too much pot, you get stuck in this rut. You're not. You don't know which way you're motivated to. Your motivations, your desires aren't entirely clear to you. And so I think that would be my pitch. Just say I don't know what I could say to the guy. He's like a billionaire. I don't know. I'd just say stay out of it. But I would say to KD, I'd be like, dude, I'm worried about your body intake.
Amazing. Yeah. So you're coming in and you're like, Mr. Tsai, I love what you've done with Alibaba.
No, I don't know what to say to this guy. I feel like I'm like, you just stay out of this. I mean, because ultimately I'd be like, the actual sports answer is like, isn't this gonna be awesome for you guys? Like this team's gonna be fucking wicked. like if everyone stuck around, the team would be really good. So I'd be like, what exactly do you want out of this? Mm-hmm. And that's why I'd be like, let's just make sure let's just make sure you're feeling in a good place. You know what I mean? And cause listen, we've all seen what it's like when we tweet too much. We know what it does.
Oh yeah, it's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope. You're on like you can't be replying. Kevin Durant's replying to like everyone. It's crazy. He's like, it's like if you get up and just like we could get him to reply to this, he'd probably say my weed intake is healthy and fine. Don't worry about it.
You know what? Maybe he's right.
Yeah, I mean, no judgment on smoking weed. I love the stuff, but I had to take a step back, and it helped me with clarity, and maybe it would help him as well.
Okay, I love your guys' answers. I think I would, before I heard you guys' answers, I was sort of thinking about coming in with being like, I'm just gonna be like, guess what? We're gonna trade, like, just sort of focus on like we need to do something to like remedy part of this situation. So I would focus on quietly trading Kyrie and then seeing how that affected everything else. But now I'm thinking that would just make things way worse. So I'm kind of going in the realm. I'm gonna sort of take, I'm gonna improv my answer a little bit, and I'm like Tsai, Marks, Nash, Irving, Simmons, yes, Simmons too, and Durant. And Curry for good vibes. We are going to Colorado. We're going to go on the Colorado River, and we're doing a mushroom trip.
Like they're doing a whitewater raft on a mushroom trip?
We're whitewater rafting. We're doing a mushroom.
Of Jordan's intervention.
Yeah, you're going into it. I like it. No, yours is better.
We're going full mushroom trip. You guys are going to see the stars. We're gonna have some nice conversations. We're gonna have some breakthroughs. We'll have a nice, comfy Airbnb or whatever, so everyone can like get their own chill space. And
I picture Ben Simmons being bad on a mushroom trip.
Yeah, you might start thinking about like I can't shoot or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what? But like
you can't leave the group chat of your life, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe that's a bad idea. I think both of my ideas have the biggest blow up potential.
But it would give Kyrie a lot of fodder for his Instagram stories, so that would be good.
Yeah, Kyrie would be down. Actually, you know what? This is terrible because Kyrie would be like, okay, before we talk basketball, what do y'all think about the Earth? And it'd be like, oh,
yeah.
They haven't even taken the mushrooms yet.
They're basically just like drinking water. Okay, that's it for the pod though. Let me just say thanks to everyone who's been listening and supporting. We've been having really good numbers recently, and we really, really appreciate you guys. So thank you so much. But let me go to you first, Katie. What's up? What do you want to let people know? Where can they find you?
I mentioned it already, but NBA Summer Vacation Watch, my column that comes back every summer, documenting and arbitrarily rating the summer vacations of NBA players, is back on Dime in its second week. I also wrote a big feature for Arizona State University's Global Sports Matters magazine on Caleb Canales. He was a coach with the Blazers, the Knicks, the Mavs, and most recently the Pacers under Nate Bjorkgren. And he now is a coach on the Mexican national team. And the feature is about him, but also this kind of exodus of international coaches from the NBA and what the NBA can do about it, because it's not a good problem to have when you're losing that many talented people.
Yeah.
What else? You said basketball feelings. That's at basketballfeelings.com. And you can follow me on Twitter. At whatevs, WTEVS.
Sweet. Katie, thank you so much. And Jordan, what's up? Everyone watch this hour, of course. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm being real. But you know, yeah. Where can people follow you? You know,
I guess
you got any
follow
shows
me
coming up?
on Twitter. I'm at Jordan Foisy, and tune in to the premiere of this hour. I have to learn how to sincerely promote it. Tune into the premiere of this hour on September 13th, I believe. Yeah.
You're gonna write in these skits that we just talked about, right?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be the first skit will be the Brooklyn Nets mushroom trip.
Honestly, please.
Casting is gonna be difficult.
Yeah, casting. We're looking for a bunch of people that are 6'7" plus.
There's Trent McClellan. Trent McClellan's tall guy. So, but that's about it.
Yeah. Again, thanks so much, everyone. Thank you, Maddie D, best producer going. And if you feel like we're done, we're good to go. Please just give me those words I love so much. Okay.
Listen to full episodes of the Confederacy of Dunks only on the Rapcast.